Hi, my name's Nina Fountain. I'm the Workplace Strategist at Transform Teams. And today I'm talking about how to walk that fine line between micromanaging and keeping in touch with the work. And while we want to know are our team members getting the work done, we're also conscious, especially at a time when there's increased stress, that we don't want to add to that stress or increase the anxiety amongst the members of our team. And at the same time, it's potentially even more important to be aware of the productivity and the performance going on in our teams. So how do we walk that line? And I guess part of the solution is about the quality of the conversations that we have to do with the work and the work that's been assigned, where it's up to and what we're expecting. A poor quality conversation is one where expectations are unclear and unspecific, where it's not obvious what's important about the work. And a good conversation is one where the boundaries are very clearly laid out and people have a really as close to crystal idea as possible of what it looks like to meet expectations. So at Transform Teams we use a concept called the lens, and it outlines the goals of the work, any standards that apply to that work. It outlines any action steps that must be included, things that we know need to get done. We look at the outcomes and the specific measures. We look at roadblocks, and we finally look at the dollar or the time allocation, depending on whether it's working with contractors or you could use time if you're working with employees. So those things together create this really clear boundary, really clear set of guides to what the work should look like. And that might sound like a lot, and it may sound like that process is difficult to work through, but having it written down like that really does take you through the thinking that informs how you communicate the work. And I had an example recently of working with one of my team members on something that was completely novel to her and needed to be done quite quickly, and within about 3 days. So it was over the weekend, I wasn't going to have a chance to talk with her in person to clarify and to do that back and forth. So I stepped very carefully through that lens, and my instructions were in writing. And I'm pleased to say that 3 days later, exactly what I had in mind was what she delivered. So it was a job well done for her, and I think also evidence of the importance and the value of stepping through that communication really clearly. And I think why this is so amazing and important right now is that it facilitates that autonomy by giving people something that they can control and making it easy for them to control the way they do the work just by saying what's important about it, but not necessarily getting down into the detail of exactly step by step how you want them to do it. That gives them the freedom to then go and do that work in the way that involves their creativity, their drive for exploration and learning, and gives them essentially the control is that key factor that can reduce stress in an anxious time. So keep that in mind this week or in the next little while as you think about walking that line and you find yourself in a situation where you could be seen to be being micromanaging. Are you coming back to a quality conversation that's really specific about what's important? Talk soon, and find us over at transformedteams.co for more practical tips like this for leaders of flexible and remote teams. See you there.